Hey, welcome everyone. We are on step 2 in my room. We are on step 2. And y'all know I love the steps now. I really do love the steps. Before we get started, may I open up with a prayer to the God of my understanding. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you. We just thank you for all the amazing things that you do in our lives and on a daily basis, and how you continue to show us things that we had missed at times, or show us new things, new beginnings. I thank you for us recovering off of the drugs and the alcohol. Thank you for helping us with the depression and the anxiety. Thank you for just being who you are. You know, the God of my understanding has been so hopeful and grateful to all of us. And for that, I give you the honor and the utmost praise. My God, my God. Okay, y'all, we are on step 2. And step 2 is we come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. You know, I wanted to talk about step 2 because step 2 is a step that once you get from 1 and you go in and you visit step 2, that step is so amazing to me, because it's opening up your eyes, it's letting you, and people say, well, what do you mean we come to believe? You know, well, it was a thing, you know, due to our addiction, we didn't believe in much of anything, because we had let ourselves down over and over again, and then all of a sudden crazy things was happening to us, and we was in our own mess, in our own head, and could not just fathom how that we let things get so bad. So I remember when we went into a meeting, you know, when I first went into a meeting, I was so amazed. And I know that step 2 gave me hope. That's what step 2 did for me. It gave me a lot of hope. It gave me a lot of things that I had to look at. And it gave me some stability to want to even do better and have an open mind, you know. And, you know, hope is something we all need. It ain't just recovering addicts. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Selena. My sister Selena, Evangelist Selena Green, is on. She comes on every Tuesday night. She blesses my soul and many more people's. Continue to do that, my sister. We come to believe that something greater, something powerful can do something in our life that we couldn't do for ourselves. So I remember when I first went to a meeting, how everything was so amazing. It was so, the first meeting, I realized that it was peoples like me that were there like I was, that wanted help. Hey, Auntie Wanda's on here. Come to believe. That's a good step. I found the surge in hope. They say, well, you know, hope is the substance of things that we hope for, you know, and we want to do better in our lives, and we messed up everything. Addiction is so powerful that it takes all and every bit of us out of character and out the way. But I'm here to tell you it's hope. Step 2 is talking about hope, finding a new way to live when we come to believe. Now, how did I come to believe? Well, I came to believe we come to believe. Oh, before I get started, shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. Oh, forgive me, God. And I also want to give a shout out to the treatment facilities, the centers, the inpatients, the outpatients. What you do is amazing. And the good part that I like about the counselors and the therapists, they've been where we were. Some of them had been, addicted to drugs and alcohol, and they took the step of wanting to reach out and help others. So I appreciate everything that they do for the men's facilities, the women's facilities. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, because it's people's hurting out there. And people don't realize that when people is hurt, our job is to help, not to look back and not to not see, because most of the time, nobody saw us in our addiction. We were studied drowning, nobody saw us. So thank you for seeing us and helping us. Hey, Lionel, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the God of my understanding. Thank you. Today I had a crying spell, and it was a good crying spell. It was letting me know that I am not perfect, but I am we get so much better than we were. And that's a blessing for me. I don't know about you all. Everybody got a story, and step 2 telling us, step 2 I know is about hope, because everything I read and everything that I applied to my life has showed me hope. When I went through step 1, step 2 prepared us, because we had to surrender and we had to admit that we somewhere in our lives had a problem. We had a problem that we can no longer erase. We had to identify and get the help that we needed to get ourselves back on track. Step 2 is all about hope. I had so much hope when I came in the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous, NACA and AA. And I always mention all of it because I did all of it. I didn't just do alcohol. I didn't just do crack. I didn't just do pills. And I did everything and anything. And the only reason why I know that this step is hope for me and for you too is because we all been in this shoe. We all been in here. And if we have, to some of you that haven't been in, you're going through. You're going through. I had to name some things that I thought that brought me hope. Hey, Lorraine, that brought me hope. And it was the day I surrendered. The day I surrendered. Today when I just fell on my knees and I just reached out to the God of my understanding that I had a problem, God, and I'm hurting, and I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of pretending. I'm tired of stealing. I'm tired of manipulating. We addicts become very good at what we do when we're using, because we want to get one more. We want to go and get one more. But see, these steps teaches us about ourselves. And step 2, come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to some sanity. So when I got to reading the step 2 and asked myself, how did I come to believe? How did you come to believe? We come to believe because we had lost hope within ourselves. We had to believe then a power greater than ourselves could do something for us. And that was that hope shot. Is that I knew that God is a person that hears all, see all, and will help all. And I came to believe that I knew that I had a big problem. It wasn't no little problem because I couldn't stop. So anytime you're doing something that you can't stop is a big problem because now you're addicted. Addiction, people's going to denial. We went through that stage where we was in denial. I ain't got no problem. They don't know what they talking about. They can't tell me what to do. You know, everybody think they know me. Don't nobody know you like you know you. Nobody. And to play games with self was very dangerous. I could have been dead a long time ago. I didn't have to be here. I could have left here a long time ago. But he knew that he was going to need us for the newcomers that's coming behind us. And believe me, it's some newcomers coming behind us. You know why we know? Because when we go to a meeting, we see that. I behaved in so many ways. I was so ashamed. And just to know that I can wake up today and feel everything that I must go through, everything that I'm going through, everything that I will go through, to know that I can go through it without no drugs or alcohol or drink or a pill is amazing to me. It's amazing because, see, once you come to believe, you know it's somebody that just woke you up that morning. Somebody that got us up in our right minds to say no more drugs. I'm done. I can't. I will not. I must not. I have to stay here until the end. And what is the end? The end is the end because I ain't never using again. That's the end. Because this disease can surface at any given time. I know because I see. I'm one hit away like anybody else. Don't care how many months, how many weeks, how many years, multiple years. I'm just one hit away because all it takes is 1 minute, one time out your day for something to put you in an atmosphere that you forgot you surrendered, you forgot that you admitted, you forgot that you know you can't use no more. And when we get like that, that's why I tell people you have to watch everything about your disease, because this is a disease. You know, the insanity things that we have done in recovery, in our using, is horrible. You know, the things that people could tell you, I thought the things that I did was so terrible, was so not worthy of the God of my understanding ever loving me again. But I found out he loved me even more. He loved you even more. Because when we become into this disease of an addiction, you know, people just say, oh, that person relapsed, or oh, that person is still using. Well, that's a disease of an addiction. And people don't understand, why can't they just stop? Okay, they ain't where you at right now. Not to say that they can't get there, they just not there. Pray for them people. Pray for the ones that is still out there using. Pray for your kids. Pray for your uncles and your aunties and your mothers and fathers, because this disease is very cunning, it's very tricky, it's very hurtful, it's very mean. It tries to divide us, and it did divide us. We lost all sense of hope. We come to believe somewhere in step 2 that we got to do better. We got to work on ourselves. We got to see what took us to them places, what took us to where we don't care no more. You got to realize that the disease of an addiction don't care nothing about you. It don't care what color you are. It don't care what kind of job you got. It don't care how rich you were, how rich you are. It don't care about that. It don't care. Drugs and alcohol is here to do one thing: steal, kill, and destroy. Did I believe I can control my use? It's never. I couldn't. Ain't no use of me telling you that, because I couldn't. Anytime I wake up thinking about using and going to bed thinking about drinking and going to bed and waking up again thinking about how to pop pills, how to do this and how to do that, what new drug is out there, what feel can I get from the next drug, I couldn't stop. The more I used, the more I wanted to use. The more I put in me, the more I wanted to put in me. What is some of the things that I believe that I couldn't believe that I did to myself? Or what are some of the things that you did that you just couldn't believe that you did to yourself? It's a lot of it. The insanity things that we did to get high. The insanity things that we said to get one more. The insanity things that we did to stay up under the influence of drugs and alcohol was terrible. You know, but that's where I come to believe that a power. Well, who's your power? Well, God is my power. I don't know about nobody else's, but God is my power. God has saw me and seen me through some things that I never thought that we would make it out of. It says, in the insanity part, I had to come to believe that the power greater than myself can do something for me, because I was at the lowest point of our lives. We get to the lowest point of our lives. Can't nobody tell us that we didn't hit rock bottom. Any active user, any person that's still using, any person that lived to use and used to live have hit rock bottom. It's no way. If somebody can show me an addict that just had everything in life and everything was going good, and they lying. Good only lasts for a minute when you're up under the influence of drugs and alcohol. So my thinking is, you know, I had to believe in a power greater than myself. Because, see, I lost my power. I had no use. I had no power within myself. You know, right then, I didn't even know who I was. You know, we get into them drugs and them alcohols and them popping the pills. And, you know, we want to keep up with our friends. We don't want to lose our friends. So we do like they do. So we stick and stay. And we keep using and keep using. You know, I didn't have no power to stop. So I had to believe. I had to come. I had to find some way to open up and come to believe that a power greater than me could do something for me. Greater than what I was doing, because I wasn't doing but messing up stuff. I wasn't doing nothing in my life but messing up. Mess up after mess up. Lying after lying. Premeditated thinking after premeditated thinking. You know that life gets bored after a minute doing the same thing. You know, the high that I get now is the most beautiful high in the world, because it's a natural high of the God of my understanding. If you don't know, then you need to try it. Because whenever it's said and done, it's the God of our understanding, and these 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, these 12 steps will help you get yourself back together. But you got to be real, and you got to get honest, and you got to be very, very sure that you're on the right track. You got to be very sure. You got to be very sure, because, you know, this disease of an addiction, you know, when we come into treatment, when I came in, when you came in, we was burnt out. We was done. We was hopeful. And coming to believe wasn't something easy for us. You know, because we had all that distrusting ourselves, hurting ourselves, not believing in ourselves, telling ourselves we was worthless, telling ourselves, other people didn't have to tell us that because we told ourselves that. Why can't I just stop? What is it? What am I doing wrong? How can I get to a point to where I can believe that a power greater than myself can do something, especially restore? Restore means to fix something that's broken, to manifest it and let it bloom and let it shine in a different way. Come to believe that a great power greater than myself could restore. And that's what step 1 start doing, and then we get to step 2. And this is what I love about step 2, because the burials that we made for ourselves was very painful. And I don't want to ever go to that pain. See, all kind of pain is different. How have I overacted? How did we overact or understand or reacted to things? I didn't care. I didn't care about nothing. Anytime I don't care about the dark places that I was in, the dark places, the streets that I walked, and it was just a terrible place that we must go through when we using drugs and alcohol. If we didn't go through the things that we went through, we wouldn't be clean today. We wouldn't be telling y'all how to do it. We wouldn't be telling you why. This is why we stay. This is why we go to a meeting. This is why we get a sponsor. This is why we resume to continue to go to a meeting. So my thing is, I ain't letting nothing separate me from my high power. Simple. That's it. Coming to believe. When you done lost everything, relationships, friendships, some of us didn't do well with our parents, with our kids, and we start losing little bitty things. Not the bigger thing. The bigger thing, we lost ourselves. But within losing ourselves, we start losing different relationships and friends due to our active using, due to the drugs of us using. So I come to a place in my life to where I just won't let nothing detour me, because he restored me. And he restored us. He restored you for you to understand that no matter what you go through in life, whether it's death, whether somebody hurt you, whether somebody rejected you, whether you lost something that was very valuable to you, or whether you just been hurt. Like the young girl, last night I just went into my bathroom and I just prayed. How can a 22-year-old want to even take their own life? I've been there. We've been there. We have got to the point to where some of us wanted to take our own lives. And we was taking it slowly because we was using drugs. We was using alcohol. We was using fentanyl. We was using Adderall. We was using cocaine. We was using crack. So we were slowly, but she didn't want to wait. And it's been on my heart all day, all while I was at church, to sing happy birthday to herself meant she was lost. Felt like she didn't have nobody. She turned up the bottle and drank. Very painful to watch. because that could have been me. It could have been you. Could have been one of our children's. When you get to the depth of pain, you search for something that you don't see coming to help. And I pray for her soul, because I pray for her, because a 22-year-old should know what life is really about. And 22, to take your own life, says something to us parents. It says something to us as human beings, that if we don't find a way to deal with mental illness, to deal with depression, to deal with life can throw some balls at us. Life can put us in a spot that we just don't see no hope. That's what addiction did. That's what addiction did. When I was in that addiction, I didn't see nothing. All I saw was getting high. All I saw was worthless, shame, miserable. I saw so many ugly words that I can't even count them all, because I was up under the influence of drugs and alcohol. I wasn't in my right mind. When this disease puts us in a place to where it can take our lives at any given day. Up under this an addiction, people have to realize this an addiction ain't just something somebody can stop. But if you have the will to open up and have the heart to surrender and have the willingness to listen and learn and talk to somebody. I wish this girl could have talked to me. Sometimes just sitting down and listening to a person means a lot. Sometimes it means a lot if we can just listen. So that part, I had come to believe that this wasn't my purpose. This not your purpose. Is to go through life using for years and years and years. This not our purpose. Our purpose is to find ourselves and see what can we do with another human being. That's how I had to come to believe. I had no other choice. We get to a point in our lives where everything is just not working for us. And then we get on that pity pot and we stay on that pity pot. I was on a pity pot. I was in my depression. You know, all I knew that I didn't care if I lived or died. And I have to be honest, because the disease of an addiction have us feeling that way because we can't stop. So coming to believe was something very powerful for me, because I didn't even know how to come to believe until I learned that I had to surrender and open up and hear and listen and meditate. Then I can begin to heal. I can begin to heal. A power greater than ourselves is somebody. Sometimes people say you can't see. It could be whoever you want it to be, but I chose the God, because the 12 steps of the Narcotics Anonymous program has taught us that God is everything in this program. He's everything. Did I have acceptance that a power greater than myself could do something for me? Yes, I did. Because remember, when I got to get on step 2, it became that hope shot. Everything was possible. All the doors could be open. Ain't no more doors closing on me. Only thing I can do is just gain, power greater than myself is somebody that can feel me and hear me and see me. And I don't even have to see that person. I can feel that person. I can feel them. I can feel them. I felt them all day. I felt them last night when I was praying for all the peoples in the world. You know, it's people that's struggling now. It's people that's dealing with the drugs of addiction. It's people that don't know how to stop. It's people that want to stop or keep relapsing and don't know why. You know, I tell people it's your job to find out what happened. Why do you keep going back? Why do you keep using? Why do you keep thinking that you're not worthy? You know, and so I had a power greater than myself talk to me. I had a power greater than myself that carried me. I had a power greater than myself that loved me more than I love myself. And that's the God of my understanding. That's so good about him, because he never took his hands off of us. Even when we didn't see him picking us up, he was carrying us then. You know, even no more what we go through in life, and we gonna go through some pain. Don't think you come into recovery to just be clean and not experience hurt and not experience pain, because you're going to experience all of it. You're going to experience rejection. You're going to experience loss. You're going to experience hurt. You're going to experience hurt in your body. A power greater than myself. What can he do for me? Well, what can he do for you? What did he do for you? You came into a meeting. You met all these peoples. You didn't understand it just like I didn't understand it. When I came into the room, the Narcotics Anonymous program, I didn't know nobody. They didn't know me. All we knew, hey Tina, all they knew is that we was here for the same thing. A power greater than ourselves gave us some meetings, gave us an outlet, gave us some people to talk to, gave us a unity support system to come into our lives. And he started dealing with, you know, he came into our life. A power greater than myself made me look at the decisions that I made. It made me look at the things that I had done. Made me look at the things that was done to me that was hindering me, that was keeping me in a roller coaster. So the power greater than myself had to reach down, way down in us, and pull some stuff out and talk about some stuff that's bothering us, you know, and then put people in your life that are truly listen. Thank you for the counselors, because they listened to me. You know, they cried. Some of them cried with me. I cried, and some of them understood with me. I stood there and I sit there and I just, every day, I thought I had got rid of some of the stuff, but it was still a lot of stuff. Do you know how much baggage we put in our bodies and hold on to it like a garbage disposer, and it just crumbles us up a little bit? It takes a little bit, but then some more gonna come. Some more stuff gonna have to get crumbled up. Then it's all a power greater than myself told me that we were worthy, that coming to the meeting is a good place to be. A power greater than myself. Myself let me down. Myself. My self-centered self. All I thought about was me. When we come into this thing called addiction, we just think it's about us. That's how we become selfish. That's how we become self-centered. That's how we become displacing, because everything is about us. Our self-centeredness, our using drugs, us drinking. You know, don't care who we hurt. Don't care how it hurt. Don't care what we say or who we say it to. That's a bad place to be in. But we've been there. We've been there. And I had to fight. I had to fight to get my life back. I ain't talking about fighting with physically with nobody. I was fighting within myself to let myself sit and be still and listen and learn and go to meetings. pick me out a sponsor, watch for me a sponsor. You know, I had some self-centeredness things going on with me. I was holding on to stuff for years, 15 years ago, 30 years ago, still carrying it. Still not want to let go, still want to hold on so I can keep getting high. So I can have an excuse that I can get high. So I know it was a power greater than myself that had some stuff for me. He knew that he was going to work out that situation. He had to do some restoring me back to sanity. I was gone, y'all. You was gone. Many of us was gone. Many of us died in our youth. Many of us is now here because we still choose to use. And using is a bad way to go out. I couldn't do it. I thank God for every message, every person, for every conversation I held, for every speaker I heard spoke. I needed it all. Because number 2 speaks about hope. And hope is the thing that's going to bring us to letting the God of our understanding, the power greater than ourselves, restore us. Restoration to sanity. You know, some people think this is a joke. Some people think if they just keep using that they just won't die. Some people think they doing the right thing by keep using. Some people don't know they in the danger zone. You know how many times I passed out and couldn't remember? How many times somebody had did something to me that I couldn't remember? Do you know how many times I've let my loved ones down? How many times that I wasn't there when I could have been there? I was there in body but not in spirit. I was gone mentally bankrupt. But for the power greater than ourselves could restore me to some kind of sanity was a gift. I tell y'all all the time, every time I speak, this is a gift. A second chance, third chance, fourth chance, 5 times. You know, because sometimes it takes people 2 and 3 times before they get it. Sometimes it takes them a long time before they get it. You know, some of us is hard-headed than others. But you can't down somebody because they can't get it. It ain't our time. But we must get ready. We must get ready to stop using drugs and alcohol. For that young girl been on my heart all day, all night for 22 years. And she wanted to say something. She wanted to send a message. And for the ones who really looked at it and got some kind of heart, her taking that drink meant she didn't care. For her to get on there, that disease of an addiction, put this young woman on there to sing her own self-happy birthday, to turn up with a big old thing of alcohol. She said something. Stop mistreating people. See people. Stop thinking that everything is okay. Depression, you can't see it. She said a lot in them few minutes. She said nobody was there for her. Nobody loved her. Sure on. Nobody. She said a lot. When she took that drink up, that let you know that she was dealing with addiction. She was dealing with mental illness. She lost her hope. She lost her hope. And to put that on TV, she was sending a message to everybody. Not the ones because you don't use, but what about the ones in your family that will use? She was sending a message that pain will kill you. Hurt will destroy you. That was very painful for me to watch. But we all need a wake-up call. We all need to see that there's other people still hurting because we are clean and we got ourselves together that we can go back. That's why we have to stay on our P's and Q's. That's why. I would have gave anything to meet this young lady, to talk to her and pull her into a meeting, or to talk to her and show her some love, because evidently she wasn't feeling no love at all. And then we sit here and we wonder how God restored us to where we can see things that we used to couldn't see. That I have people that love me. I have people that show me love. I have people I can talk to. I have people that I can be around. But what she sent was a terrible message. And whoever didn't get it, you missed it. Full of pain, depression, lonely, sad, rejected. No one see her. Everything that young girl was feeling, I felt. Or you felt. One upon a time in our life, we've been in every one of them situations that a 22-year-old was in. I bless her soul. I ask God to bless her soul. Because we never know what life gonna bring us. We only in it for a purpose. And if we don't find our purpose, a power come to believe, a power greater than myself, could restore me to some kind of sanity, I couldn't be here. You couldn't be here. Y'all that's on this site right now couldn't be here. If it wasn't for the love of the God of our understanding, we wouldn't be here. But he kept us here for a reason. To learn more about ourselves. To restore some things that had been lost and broken. And let me tell you something. Ain't none of us on this page been perfect. Even as parents. We have all made mistakes. Where everybody talking about, well, you know, I never did that. Okay, that you didn't do. Okay, but that you did do. So whatever you say you didn't do, you did something else. Everybody have did something wrong in life. Everybody had to find a power greater than themselves to help them, to restore them, and to get them back to a place in their life where they can forgive, where they can love again, where they can have some joy and some peace again, whether they can feel not alone again, whether they can love again, whether they can get some acceptance again, where they can hold themselves accountable when they do something wrong and promptly admit it and say, I'm sorry. Oh boy, it takes a good person that's working on something to do that. It takes a good person to know that I ain't used what I used to be. I'm never going back to that place and that person ever again. And that's where we at. For the ones that still going to a meeting, you sending a message to. Let me give a shout out to you all. Let me give a shout out to the ones that's still struggling. I'm going to give a shout out to the struggling ones. I'm going to give a shout out to the ones that's still struggling, or the ones that's still drinking, or the ones that's still using. You don't have to use. Remember, you are the person to take back your control, and you don't have to use. Using is going to keep you in a roar of a tornado. You know, when we use them, we like a tornado. We just spinning around, spinning around, spinning around. But let me tell you, you don't have to. It's you choose to. I had to learn the difference. Because when it says a power greater than myself, I didn't have to listen. I didn't have to realize that it was somebody greater than myself helping me along the way. Because when I finally admitted and surrendered, and I told him, I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this. Help me. I had to learn how to get to a point in my life that say, I need help. The superwoman that I thought I was needed help. The one that thought that she had all the answers needed help. The ones that thought she had control over her life and everything was beautiful needed help. I had to go through all them different boundaries before I had accepted that, and I had realized that I needed some help. A God of my understanding had to come. A power greater than myself had to help me. He had to show me. Ain't none of us perfect. None of us is perfect. We all go through. But one thing we don't have to do, that we all can be on the same accord, is don't use. That's my cure. They said, you know, the only cure for the disease of an addiction of drugs and pills and fentanyls and alcohol is don't do it. Is don't drink. Give yourself an opportunity to see what life will show you and gain for you if you don't pick up. Boy, when I first went in, when I first got clean and I started working on steps and I'm working with my sponsor, I didn't think that I could stop drinking. I didn't think I could stop using. Because it had been a part of my life for 30 years. It had helped me when I thought it had helped me help myself to hurt myself. That's all the drugs did for me. It wasn't my friend. It wasn't my partner. That drug was the enemy. And once I learned that the drug was trying to kill me, the alcohol was destroying me, the drugs was killing me, and so was the alcohol. The pills was killing me. I needed a power greater than myself to do some restoring. Because somebody smiled don't mean they happy. And because somebody don't talk don't mean they ain't got nothing to say. That was me. I take all of it. A lot of times I didn't talk. Because I was so full. Sometimes we get so full where we can't talk. Sometimes we be so hurt that we can't talk. But I want to tell some people that I love them because, you know, it sucks. When I go through whatever I go through now, I can't drink. I can't pick up no drugs. I don't want to pick up no drugs. I don't, because I know where I'm going. You know where you going. I can't do it. I will not give drugs and alcohol the power ever again over my life to take control over my life and make me feel like I'm worthless. Thank you, God, of my understanding, for loving me so much that you took me and you helped us and you got a 12-step Narcotics Anonymous program for us. I don't care how much you go to church. And don't nobody go to church no more than me. Had a good service today. First Lady preached, gave a good message. But in that message, talked about addiction. Addiction. Addiction is killing our kids and people. And if you think I'm not lying, if you had saw that 22-year-old, and not just her, I can name some more. They need the hope shot. So when we come to a power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity, we doing something. Because now we on a level we ain't never been on. I'm on a level that I didn't think I would ever reach. Come to believe that a power that can stop me from thinking the way I was thinking and doing the things that I was doing and hurting ourselves over and over again can put and restore me to some kind of righteousness. Program. That's why I like going to meetings. I like hearing people's. I like hearing their stories. I like getting a message. I like giving a message. Recovery is the best thing I ever did and didn't fail at it. What you say? Recovery is the best thing that I or you have ever done and haven't failed at it. Ain't that right, Tina? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Never failed at it. We still clean. Years, 3 decades, and I'm still clean. That's amazing. From where we was. Counted ourselves out. Didn't care about ourselves. Didn't love ourselves. Hit rock bottom. Stayed broke. Making everybody else some money. But we broke. Mentally. Emotionally. And physically. Don't you know? It's a blessing to be a blessing, to bless somebody else, because he restored us to do better, to learn why we were using, to learn why we did the things that we did, to understand why we couldn't stop. See, I know why I couldn't stop now, because it's a disease, and I ain't touching it. It's a disease. I don't want to ever do that no more. Because my life was horrible. Beautiful to somebody else, but horrible for the inside of me. I can't go back. I will not go back. I pray to God that y'all don't go back. I give a shout out to y'all for everybody that's staying clean. That's just from one day to many months. For many weeks. I applaud you. Because sometimes it ain't easy. But it feels so good to know that something that wasn't easy or is not easy at this time in my life, I didn't pick up. See, that's the beautiful part of recovery. People just think, oh, you just stop using. No, many blessings come when you stop using. Some of them little miracles, some of them big miracles, some gigantic miracles. They gigantic for me. Even though I hurt, even though we cry, even though we fall short sometimes, remember we ain't perfect, we better than we was. So when he came to restore, said something big for me. That means this person that was so messed up inside, mentally, emotionally, and physically, so messed up, he still wanted to put some life back in me. He still wanted to restore me. Get all that ugliness out. Get it out. Talk about it. Deal with it. But he wanted to restore. What kind of God of my understanding am I dealing with? The best God in the world that can get all that garbage out. I ain't got to steal no more. What? I ain't got to lie no more. I ain't got to lay down and pretend on what I'm going to say and do to get another drink, another hit. What? You restore me to where I can think differently now? You can put good in me? I ain't got to be that ugly person. What? I might have looked good, dressed good, because, we are dress-up lies. We are a dress-up lies. We addict were the best addict in the world because we know how to manipulate to get what we wanted. To get some drugs, to get a drink, to get some pills, anything that was going to make us feel better than what we was feeling. That's all we was looking for. So you mean that the God of my understanding can restore me? You mean put some good qualities in me? You mean make me love again? What? What kind of God is this that can restore me from sanity and bring good lights to me? I see a light, and the light tells me when God is powerful, greater than myself, can restore me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how much strength I had in me. I couldn't believe how good God was in these 12-step this program, y'all. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe when he took pain and turned it into joy. Hey, I couldn't believe that. He couldn't believe where I could hurt and still don't use. Still don't use. What kind of program is this? What kind of program that'll tell me when my mother and my son passed, I didn't need no excuse to use. I could have used, but I chose not to. I chose to show strength. I chose to be better because he restored that in me. He restored me to think right and love again and get some joy in my life. He didn't tell me it was going to be perfect every day, but he didn't tell me it was going to be bad neither. He didn't tell me that. He told me long as you stay clean, all things are possible. Man, to restore me to sanity, to restore us to sanity, to put some steps in our life that we can go to when we see where we at, when we all over the place. Oh yeah, even the best get all over the place. No matter how much clean time you have, even the best get all over the place. So I thank y'all. The spiritual part. He helped me deal with trust. He helped us deal with fear. He helped us deal with rejection. He helped us deal with denial. He helped us deal with accountability. He helped us deal with self-worth. He helped us deal with defect of character. Because, honey, my defect of my character was nothing nice. Come to believe that a power greater than ourselves can restore us to some sanity. And I thank him for restoring some in all of us. Because everybody in his eyes is worth restoring. And that's why I love the 12-step program too. I don't have enough time to get into all the stuff I wanted to say. I get so fired up because I know what he have done for so many of my friends, so many of my loved ones and me. He took an old ratchet person like me and cleaned my life up and turned my life around. Not for the worse, but for the better. I tell you, the God of my understanding will never let you down. Man will let you down. Friends will let you down. People will let you down. But the God of my understanding, who I choose to God, ain't never let me down. Even in my worst use. Even in my using. Even in my thought. He still loved me. The crazy things that I said to him, he forgave me. God is good, y'all. Thank y'all so very much. Auntie, I'm cooking. Thank y'all so very much. I love each and every last one of you. I hope I've enlightened something that can be a blessing to you, and do something nice and kind for someone today. It don't have to be much. Just a phone conversation, just a talk, just to listen. You know, thank y'all so very much for being a part of my life. Renee, thank you. You can catch me on YouTube. Today is Sunday, September 31st, I believe. September 31st. We finna go into September, y'all. This month went by so fast, it ain't funny. Be a blessing to somebody. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. Help another individual going when they're going through. That's my purpose. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you next week, Friday. And we will be on step 3. We will be on a step, you know, that step 3 is something I really, really love, because step 3, I say that about every step, y'all. I know y'all get tired of me saying it, but guess what? I ain't finna stop. Step 3 have taught me many, many things. You know, we come to believe. I said step 1, step 2. I can't, he can, so I let him. So we'll be on step 3 for next week. I see y'all. God bless you. Have a safe rest of the week. And we going into next week. God bless you. Nope. And why would y'all keep running me in?
Oh my God.
Get out that living room, because Uncle Glenn just coming. Go outside. Then go outside. Get out of here.